Supercross Live on supercrossonline.com. Kevin Barnett and Jim Holley wrapping up the night in Oakland, round 4. And Jim, will start with that 450 class. Crash in the first turn, claims 4 contenders. 2 guys leave, Barsha and Stewart, unable to continue. And then from then on, it was the Villapoto show. Start playing that Terminator music again.
Yeah, unbelievable. I mean, you know, Chad Reed went in there, it looked like, and who knows what happened, but just a plethora of guys were down in the first turn. But, you know, Villapoto said, you know, I'm not playing around tonight. He was fast. He got the good start in his heat race, won that, came out here, collects $1,500 from Nuclear Cowboys, and just checks out. I mean, literally back-to-back wins for him. You know, we'll see if this is a roll or not. But, you know, like I've always said, Kevin, the key is that start, and you gotta stay out of trouble. And you know, unfortunately for Barsha, hope he's okay, and he'll be at Anaheim next week, as well as James Stewart. But you know, I thought Trey Kennard rode really well to get that 4th. You know, he was in the back of the pack, moving his way up there and stuff. But it was a great night for Villapoto, and like I said, the man who still has that red background, Millsap's another second for him.
Yeah, Chad Reed actually got out of shape in the whoops and was the cause of that crash. Just got out of shape and went straight up into there and caused a bunch of problems. But in second place, Davey Millsaps continues to have probably the best Supercross season of his life.
Yeah, he's hungry. You know, I talked to him. It's a different Davey Millsaps in 2013. He just wants it, and it shows in his riding. If guy passes him, he's going to fight for it.
And how about that 3rd place, Ryan Dungey? He again had to come from the back. He was in about 16th going into that first turn. Did not get collected by that crash. Fortunate for him. Talking to Roger DeCoster after the race tonight, and he said, look, it's on Ryan to get better starts.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. Roger knows he's been around a long time and won championships. And, you know, Ryan was fast. I mean, all day in practice, he looked good and everything, but they're still kind of going back and forth. Like we saw, they had the conventional rear shock on, but I noticed in that main event, he had that air rear shock on. Yeah. So, I mean, they're going to work it out. Ryan's going to get better, and he's going to figure out the starts. And he's a threat. I mean, he's consistently there. You know, another podium for him.
All right, 3-8-6-3. If you're following at home, Ryan Dungey's finishes through 4 rounds. In that 250 class, Eli Tomac was struggling most of the day. Ken Roxon was not. Ken Roxon leads his first laps of the season. He does it from about lap 12 on in the main, taking over for Cole Seeley, and takes his first win of the season.
Yeah, most importantly, he's going to go to Anaheim with that red background. He's got that points lead, and that's a huge thing. I mean, you know, you thought Eli Tomac was going to win his 4th here, but he had his problems, and you know, I don't even think he finished in the top 15.
He ended up crashing out.
Yeah, he crashed out in the whoops, but I mean, who knows where he was at, you know. But, you know, he gained some points, but yeah, Kenny Roxon, you know, it's his now. He's got the point lead going down to Anaheim. But Cole Seeley, I feel bad for him. You know, he said he tightened up a little bit again, and you know, he's kind of racing himself into it. I mean, yeah. Cole's going to win one of these things soon, and maybe it might be next week in Anaheim.
I think expectations were high for Seeley, but people have to remember in Salt Lake last year, he spent about a week in the hospital after a pretty nasty crash there. So Cole Seeley's still on the mend and certainly showing top 3 speed. He's been a part of that top 3 group with Roxon, Tomac, running up ahead of the rest of the group. But Jason Anderson, number 21, first podium of 2013. We've seen kind of a back and forth with Jason Anderson. We know that he's been fast. He did it through a main tonight.
Well, and you mentioned Salt Lake City with Cole Seeley. That's the last time that Jason Anderson was on the podium. He had a second, and so he knows he can get on that podium. And it was just a great ride. I mean, he's a young kid, you know, he's struggling first few rounds, but it's good to see him up there. And, you know, that team, I mean, you know, Davey Millsaps gets the 2nd, he gets the 3rd, Jason Anderson tonight here in Oakland, and, you know, hopefully he can carry that momentum on down to Anaheim.
Yeah, another team that's pretty happy in that 250 class is the JDR J-Star KTM group, coming home with a 5th and 6th place finish, and also the Nuclear Cowboys whole shot going to Joey Savacci. Yeah,
Savacci, I talked to him a little bit. He was happy, but, you know, he's getting to learn. You know, he's a rookie, and he's getting those starts, and he's learning that pace now.
All right, and you're learning all about Supercross each weekend from us. This is the end of our night here, but we will be back in Anaheim next week with the Supercross Live pre-show, a little hit here, and then we'll have the Supercross Live practice show. Remember, 2 to 5 streaming. That's West Coast time next week right here on supercrossonline.com. I'm Kevin. He's Jim. We'll see you again next week.